Hey y'all, Dr. J here. Wanted to talk about one of the leadership sins that I see so often and in orgs that I experience. And I want to tell you a little story about it. So I was interviewing an individual for content related to my model and my book, trying to hear what else is out there. I never want to do anything from hubris, so I'm out there learning as much as I can, and I'm talking to people. And the other night, I was interviewing an individual who was a member of the C-suite of a publicly traded company. He's recently retired. That company did well. And in my conversations with him, he explained his communication approach, and communication being one of the four elements that I believe are critical to a performance culture. So we're discussing this, and he tells me how he always goes down whenever there's a major initiative, whenever there's a significant change. He ensures that he has a room full of people that represent that people that are representative of various departments within his various positions within his department are in a room so that they can discuss this change, they can look at options, they can agree upon what the appropriate path forward should be, and then that can then be memorialized for whatever this policy is that they were going to be working on. And it was a really great example of a leader listening, of a leader going down as far as they can into an organization to hear what others think before making any significant change. Great example of that. When I asked him, okay, what about the other members of your C-suite? He said, no, this was my policy. This is how I ran my department. And therein lies one of the two rubs. First rub, every leader's different. Everybody's going to have different communication problems or strategies or approaches and problems, right? And so when we rely upon, so here we have an organization. One leader relies upon their great communication approach, their transparent communication approach. And we have 3 to 6 other departments that might not. That creates gaps. That's one rub. The other rub, what happens when this leader leaves? Most leaders have a 2-year life, especially in sales, they have a 2-year life cycle. Most CEOs have a 5-year life cycle. So what happens when that leader leaves? The new person comes in, and now you've got their processes, right? Because every new leader wants to put their stamp, and so they make changes. Like that, they always do. So those are the rubs. Every leader is different. Every leader leaves. That is why I advise in my model to build these elements, communication being one of the cornerstone elements, into the operating fabric of the organization. So it doesn't rely upon one leader's communication style. This is the way the organization communicates. Every policy is discussed in focus groups with representation from every department and every level of employees. That's just one of the many examples that I could give, and I do when working with organizations. Right now, I believe that the point is made. You've got to build it into your fabric. So it's how the organization communicates, not one leader. Why? Because every leader is different and every leader leaves. So please, organizations, build into your operating fabric the elements that you believe are important to drive your organization forward. Don't focus on the people. People are great. Don't get me wrong. I'm a huge fan of them. I wouldn't have a doctorate in organizational leadership if I didn't believe it. And yet, in the end, it is still the same. I might be the greatest leader in the world. I'm not. Let's just say, for the sake of this conversation, I might be. What happens when I leave? A new person comes in, and it becomes harder to keep that going, and they always make changes. So the organization, if they build in the things that made me great into the operating fabric of the organization, it makes it that much easier when a new person comes in, because how the organization communicates is already part of its operating fabric, and all they have to do is implement that, which is already being implemented because it's part of the policies, procedures, and practices of the organization. All right. So as always, my objective is to create environments where employees thrive. I provide this content to help organizations in any way that I am able. That's what I'm here to do, is find my gift and give it away. So I hope this has been valuable. If it has, please, I have to ask this, smash the like button so your network can be aware, right? Share the love. We should all be trying to share the love in this world. So I wish you all the best of luck in 2023. Good luck now.